Okay, well, let me just say I am so excited. I have been looking forward to putting this thing back on the road for months. I've been driving the Xterra because ski season has been happening. That has just come to an end, so now this will be my daily driver while I'm rebuilding the 12 valve. This thing actually hasn't made an appearance in a while. I love this truck like you would not believe. This is my 1999 Dodge Dakota RT. All right, well, let me just tell you, this vehicle has been such a surprise. I bought this thing sight unseen for $2,000. I was expecting to just completely strip the interior out and just turn it into some sort of beater, thrasher, race car, drifter, whatever kind of just fun vehicle. And I called the guy, sorry, just super sunny in my eyes. And I called the guy, and he actually told me that the interior was in great shape and it ran amazingly. But it was a bit of a surprise. I had to do an out-of-province vehicle inspection. It probably cost me at least another couple grand to get this thing so I could insure it. This thing is such a jalopy to look at, but you would not believe how good a shape the interior is in and just how well this thing runs. It is just mind-boggling. All right, so as I said, this thing has been parked for the winter. As you'll see here, this thing has been a complete junk storage bin. This is all a bunch of random recycling crap I gotta bring back. I've just been tossing things in here, but the interior is in such good shape. I mean, there's just nothing even remotely out of place in here. All right, so I will just say too, the paint on this truck is so bad. When I got it, it had this different colored bumper, and I will tell you, I've definitely had enough of that. In general, the truck is actually in really good shape. There's a bit of rust on the body, so this fender has some, and there's probably a bunch more behind these fender flares here. Also, there's a bit on the box right here. The underside of the truck, though, there is no rust on the frame. It's got rust on the exhaust and stuff, but the frame is in amazingly good shape. And then the only real body damage is back here. My future plans for this, maybe do some handling stuff. I would want to put much wider tires. As you can see, these are some winter tires I got off Craigslist so I could get through my inspection. But probably put these are 235s, and I don't know what the widest you can get and still steer is, probably 275s or something like that. I have to tell you, I have been humming and hawing about this thing ever since I've owned it. I think about it constantly, and it's just such a tough call on what exactly to do with it. I mean, for the last few months, what I have really been planning on doing is I have an LQ4, like a 6-liter LS style engine out of a 2005 Silverado 2500. So I have one of those at my garage. And the plan was to put that in there and then put a Magnuson supercharger on it, and then also a Tremec TKO from TIC Performance, and those are rated for over 900 foot-pounds of torque kind of thing. And I was going to make kind of like this all-around beater, you know, could do some drag racing, and, you know, hopefully I'd lower it and put different suspension on and stuff, and it could kind of have like a handling slash drift slash drag type vehicle. The thing that is really making me so tentative about this too is if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know that I'm rebuilding my Dodge Ram 12 valve. I got a 12 valve dually on 37s with compound turbos, and I'm doing like a very extensive rebuild on that. And the budget on that build has just gotten insane. I mean, I've done all the work. It's all basically just money gone to parts and stuff, but it's just unreal how much more money I spent than I thought I would. I mean, I was initially thinking about 30 grand Canadian, you know, to get some compound turbos and a built transmission and a lift and some wheels and tires and stuff and maybe a bit of a stereo, and it's just like way over double that. You know, before I start tiptoeing into another one of these builds, I really have to be asking myself, like, what is the end result that you really want? Because, you know, it's a slippery slope. I mean, partly it's bringing back my sort of childhood days because I always loved this body style. I mean, I love Dakota RTs, but especially the regular cab ones. Like, these things are just so good. Before I jumped into the 12 valve build, and before I even owned that, the plan was to build my Xterra. I want to put that on 40s. I've got a set of 1-ton axles and a second transfer case that would be going in there. And I want that to be probably the next project that I get going on. I only bought the 12 valve as something to haul my quad around and that kind of thing while I was building the Xterra, and I just got so caught up and carried away with that 12 valve build. I'm gonna head to the shop, and either today or tomorrow I will just do a quick paint job on that, just so it kind of matches the truck. Alright, and just like that, this thing is all one color. I have basically turned this truck from a 100-foot paint job with a red bumper to now it's just a 100-foot paint job. I also committed one of the ultimate sins and just very sketchily spray painted over some previous body damage. It was getting a little bit rusty right here, and just don't want it to get any worse. But anyways, the one thing I'm a little bit concerned with right now is because I just painted the bumper, and this thing is a finely tuned donut machine, I have to confirm that that extra weight of paint didn't throw the balance off. So I'm gonna have to do some more donuts and just make sure that it hasn't lost any of its donut ability. So here we go. Alright folks, well there we have it. Science proves that a little bit of paint on the bumper isn't going to change a vehicle's ability to do donuts. I assumed that, but in situations like this you just have to make sure. So anyways, you know, when I bought this truck, there was a lot of talk of 1,000+ horsepower and wanting to make some crazy drag racing sort of drifting machine. But the more I drive it, the more I realize that this thing's strength, it is in such good condition. Everything works pretty much perfectly. A couple of very minor little bugs here and there, but not that big of a deal. I love the way it handles. I love that it's a tiny little truck. I've pretty much only driven full-size pickups, and I've just had the Xterra too. When I bought the Ram, I mean, that thing needed to be gone through, and I very specifically was buying a project, and I thought that that's what I was getting into here, but I have just been so pleasantly surprised with this truck. You know, it's got some battle scars on it and that, and it's a little rough around the edges, but the thing just works so good. I love it, and honestly I think I'm going to go a bit more traditional route with this. When a guy, you know, buys a set of headers here and a set of heads there, and you know, maybe a cam and that kind of thing, I just love the way it works. I am just going to pick away at this and keep this as my reliable daily driver. All right, well, that's it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I want to get doing a lot more stuff like this in the next little while where I'm out of the shop and having a little bit of fun. Anyways, please like and subscribe, and check out some of my other stuff. I've got a 12-valve build project on the go, which is pretty close to getting ready to put back together. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one. Take care.